Hello everyone, I am Tong Zikin, from Guizhou Province Green Construction Residential Industrialization Development Co., Limited. Today, I will lead you to our company's prefabricated prefabricated components factory, to learn the production line and process of prefabricated PC components. The basic process of the prefabricated PC component production line includes MOLD bench cleaning gives mold installation, gives mold release agent brushing gives reinforcement lashing gives embedded part placement gives concrete pouring gives concrete vibration pounding gives component roughening gives component maintenance gives component demolding gives transfer and storage of a total of 11 processes. 1. The first step of mold bench cleaning. The first thing we see is the fixed mold bench. Common prefabricated components, such as composite slabs, composite girders, prefabricated wall panels, and prefabricated stairs are based on the mold bench for production. After the production of prefabricated components is completed, there will be residues on the surface of the mold bench. Small pieces of concrete, solidified mortar and other residues, dust, etc., that have not been completely cleaned during the pouring and vibrating operation. And these residues must be cleaned to ensure that the surface of the mold bench is smooth and dust-free, and it is ready for the next process of operation. 2. Mold installation. Assemble and produce molds on the mold bench and verify the size to ensure that the prefabricated components are accurate in size. 3. Mold release agent brushing. Brush the mold and mold bench to ensure the convenient release of the components and the surface finish of the components. 4. Rebar binding. According to the rebar serial number on the drawing, select the finished rebar of the corresponding size and lash out on the mold bench. 5. Embedded parts placement. Start to install reserved materials such as water stop sections and cable boxes, and use magnetic bases or additional rebars to fix them on the surface of the mold bench. 6. Concrete pouring. Concrete pouring is completed by the spreader machine. According to the thickness of the components, geometric dimensions, the number of concrete required, and the degree of collapse and other parameters, to adjust the corresponding operating parameters of the spreader machine. The concrete is transported from the mixing station to the inside of the mixing machine hopper through the transport hopper. When making manual distribution, the operating speed of the spreader machine and the unloading speed of the spreader machine can be adjusted. Ensure the cycle time requirements of the production line. And when the spreader machine needs to replenish the material, the spreader machine can be moved to the position of the lower mouth of the concrete transport hopper for replenishment. 7. Concrete vibrating. After all the components on the mold bench complete the distribution, the vibration table descends and locks the mold bench on the vibrating bench, so that it does not move relatively in the vibrating process. Adjust the frequency of the vibrator according to the thickness of the components and other parameters, so that the vibrating force matches the parameters of the components. And under the premise that the dense quality meets the requirements during the vibrating process, controls the vibrating time until the vibrating meets the requirements of use. 8. Roughening. For the concrete after vibrating and compacting, the surface of the concrete should be roughened according to the requirements of the specification, and the drawing depth should not be less than 4 millimeters. 9. Maintenance. After the components meet the quality requirements, after steaming for 8 to 10 hours, the stacker will take the platform out of the steaming warehouse and send it to another channel of the production line and enter the next process. 3-dimensional steaming adopts steam-humid heat steaming mode, using the heat emitted by the steam pipeline directly into the kiln to obtain the required temperature and humidity monitoring, change automatic control, steaming temperature up to 60 degrees, to ensure that the heating and cooling speed meets the requirements, while ensuring that the temperature of each point in the steaming reservoir is uniform. 10. Component demolding. After the maintenance is completed, the fixture of the mold is removed with tools, and all the templates are dismantled with the crane, and the mold is cleaned, and the cleanliness of the template meets the requirements and returns to the mold installation station. 11. Transfer and storage. According to the company's stacking plan, the components are stacked in order and in the process of stacking. Ensure that each wooden square mat block is consistent in the upper and lower, left and right positions to avoid the destruction of prefabricated components, and transfer to the yard for storage after the stacking. The above is the basic process introduction of the prefabricated prefabricated component production line. I hope that through the explanation of the knowledge points in this lesson, you can have a basic understanding of the production process of prefabricated components. Thank you.